Thank you for listening to Pathways and Passions. Remember, these conversations are meant to inspire, not replace professional guidance. Take care of your heart, stay curious, and keep walking your path with passion. That just kind of popped into my head about some of the things that we talk about sometimes regarding our DNA. We talked about culture. And our DNA and how our DNA actually carries a lot of what we experience if we don't address it. If we do not address it and we don't want to change those things, there's some things that are just not going to change. And so I think that sometimes when we open ourselves up, it's just like for us opening ourselves up to different belief systems, and becoming aware over time of who we are in our belief system, what is it that we really believe? Do we just believe the things that we've been told by our parents or our ancestors, or do we start looking at something a little bit different, open ourselves up to hearing other people, hearing about other cultures, hearing about other relationships, hearing about so how do you decide when you get all of this information? How is it that you decide which voices to listen to? And then which voices to tune out?
Yeah. For me, I can find I don't know if hope is the word to use, but I can solace. I could just say solace. I can find solace in for me listening to podcasts, listening to you. Either if it's Marcia Ellis or my mama or my sisters or my friends and stuff like that. That's the important thing of having people that genuinely love and care about you, to be able to listen to you and see my weaknesses, where I am as a person, might be in a stage as a person, and listening and watching people that are in healthier relationships. If it's referring to relationships, looking for people that have strong marriages, strong partnerships, and getting away from, I hate the concept of we've been together 15, 20 years, so we must be healthy, when in fact it's not a healthy relationship. So being able to distinguish, having the ability to think and understand that, okay, what's healthy is this. There's been infidelity in marriages and partnerships, and that doesn't necessarily mean, for me, that you just throw something out, because to me, what led up to that? So when you have people that can be vulnerable with you and have these conversations of, I stepped out, I did that, and I was wrong, So when you meet this man, you meet Mr. Man or Mrs. Woman, and don't let that, blur you from what, because a lot of cheating is just physical. It's not even the emotional of what got you there. So if I can listen to stuff like that, or seeing how I'm supposed to be treated, I've seen men that love their wives, men that love their partners, and be there, versus me talking to you and you not doing what you need to do to keep and to even be in a relationship. So stuff like that is important. There's so many podcasts out here that got bitter men and bitter women talking. So you got to be careful about that, because every man is not going to take advantage of you. Every man is not a dog. Every woman's not trying to get in your pocket. And but right now, that's just a big part of the podcast culture. So it's important to find somebody that got some sense to sit and listen to, read, and like your book. I love your book. being able to read that, and it's not even judgmental, it's just the basics, and I can't get offended with the basics, of stuff.
Right.
And
Right.
a lot of times we hear stuff, we might see a post or hear stuff, and we get so offended, and stuff ain't got nothing to do with you. And
Right.
and we hear that, but we got to take that, listen to that, and see, why am I being offended, or why do I feel a certain way? But it is important to find outlets that you should have a mentor in all kind of things, aspects of
Okay.
your life. Mentor relationship wise, business wise, lifestyle wise, stuff like that is important, because we're all on a growth, something to change all the time, so it's good to learn from
Yeah.
others. So
Yeah, I like that. You are so
oh,
very
stop
intelligent. I am
it.
so proud.
Yeah.
I just slipped those things
It's
in.
growth, it's growth.
It is growth. What I like about what you said, Jasmine, surrounding the growth part, you also mentioned like podcasts and social media, and how we have to be so careful about what is presented to us
Yeah,
in
verse.
these different media spaces. How we
Mm-hmm.
have to go after the ones that actually teach us
Teachers,
about
yeah.
who we are as humans. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in Healthy Pathways to Love, we teach about critical thinking
Thinking.
skills. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh. Can certain things happen between men and women, and it could be okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
But are they healthy? Are they can for instance, you mentioned infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Can people have affairs and get through that process? Yes,
Yes.
they can, but it takes work. It
Work.
takes
Yeah.
discussions. It takes doing things for one another.
Mm-hmm.
Just as if people have affairs and they're not emotionally mature to get
Mature.
through them, or if you don't have your spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
realities to get through them,
Mm-hmm.
they can be very detrimental.
Yeah.
So it's important that we keep that open, and we keep an open mind that
Yeah.
people can move through life situations. I
Relations.
want somebody who's gonna have my back, who's
That.
thinking about me, who has my betterment, in their mind, who wants to help me become better, because I'm gonna help you become better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is so important. Let's move to finding your way in dating. Let's look
Okay.
at trust and clarity and self awareness, right? So, what does it mean to date from self trust instead of fear, or having that urgency that I just gotta be with somebody? I need to be with
Oh,
somebody all the time.
I remember feeling I was in that part of feeling like, oh, I gotta have somebody, but that don't mean that they was good.
Yes.
And being able to distinguish, ain't nothing like calling somebody that you go into voicemail like, I know I just talked. I don't ever want to be like being anything like that again. I don't ever want. I remember knowing what it was, what I don't want. That
Yes.
scared me enough to know, like, oh
Okay.
no, no, no. I remember dating somebody, real good guy, but he wasn't ready for no girlfriend, and that was it. And we see the stuff, but it's
Yeah.
it's, it's on us to be like, because if he ain't gonna step back, I gotta step back and see
Mm,
and be like, you know what? We're not good. We're not really compatible. We have
mhm.
fun, we laugh, we eat, we go do this, go here, there, but really not compatible, because you're in emotion of you still want to do your own thing. So a lot of times we gotta sit back and home, get ourselves together so that we're not in that. So that we're able to see that sometimes it's just time to step out and step away from things. Whereas when we get to that part, where it's just the emotional maturity of saying, what it is that you want. And that's what it come down to. Nothing is easy. Being able to know and be vulnerable with yourself, forgive yourself about people you've talked to, situations you've hold on real quick, situations that you've dealt with, that it's okay, but you forgive yourself and you keep it moving and doing what you need to do to get to the next step.
So how did you get to that next step? When you were transitioning from not knowing what it was and who you were to knowing who you wanted to be, um and who you wanted to be with. How did you go about doing that?
Sorry, I had to
No worries.
um making the choice. So this is my part for me of the crossroads for me was in 2023. I have been dating someone, sweet person, uh would treat me real good. Like, I'm not there, but I know you like to get your nails done and provide and, send it, stuff like that. I loved it. I like being, hearing when people can hear you and see what you like and be like, oh, well, let me do this for you. So I like that. But
And
we
you're like
were,
that. So,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, I'm like that. If I like you, because I'm not spending no money. But we a really good person. Um, we fun and stuff, but it just wasn't for me. So I ended that, and I remember New Year's Eve, 2023 going into 24. I sat and I was like, you know what? I make goals for myself every year, and I was like, you know what? I don't even really date. I really don't date anybody. I've gone out a couple people, but it's embarrassing. I really haven't dated someone. I don't know. And I was like, you know what? This is the type of person that I want. What is it that I'm doing that is getting in the way of me dating who it is that I want? What is it that I can do for myself to meet somebody, and not just anybody? And I was like, first thing is get out the house. I was such a homebody that the only person I'm seeing is the old UPS man or the post lady, so that wasn't gonna work. So I started getting out more, going to different events, and events with more people of quality. I say, not just kicking it type of situations, because that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to kick it situation.
Yes.
Meeting people that were intelligent, had a thing for business, enjoying life. I like to smoke cigars, so I started going to the cigar spot. And then you meet different people, and so you have to take yourself out of your comfort zone of knowing what type of places and people. So socially includes it there, but it just got to the point where I was like, okay, I like this. So that was my part.
So if you were speaking to younger women, and I hate to say younger women, but younger women or women, period, because sometimes we get arrested in our maturities.
Mm-hmm.
You were speaking to women. Tell women what that feels like emotionally to make that change. How did it feel where you were? How did it feel as you were transitioning through? And how does it feel being on the other side of
Oh, damn.
where you were?
Um, A lot of times it was just being whole honest with myself that if I don't change, I'm not gonna meet with the person that I need to meet, because I gotta be healthy and I gotta be mature so that they would even want to talk to me. Because why would I want to talk to somebody, you know? And I wasn't bad or anything. It was nothing like that. It was more so of just getting out and even putting the walls down little to be like, okay, I'm gonna put myself out there to actually meet somebody. Because like I said, I hadn't met anybody that it was gonna be something happening dealing with. So I was like, okay. So understanding your self-worth, you know who you are. For me, I was like, I'm cute, I'm intelligent, I can do, I have great skills, I'm sociable, I love my family, I love family oriented things to get involved with. So I was like, well, that's the type of person that I have to place myself into, place myself to meet people like that. And people say, well, you shouldn't be judgy. Yes, you should. When it's for you, you better be judgy, because it's about you and you want the best for
I
you.
love it.
And
I love
so
it.
you got to do what you got to do, and not accept certain things. I tell people too, I'm not Mother Teresa. I'm not going to build you up. I'm not going to take care of you. You got to come well packaged. If I had to work on me, you got to work on you. You got to be
Okay.
able to have that where you could keep it moving. So then when I got to the space, um, you get to meet a Mr. Make It Happen. Somebody that is, genuinely cares about you, that you have friendship, that you have companionship, somebody that you can talk to, and you could travel, you could do, you can enjoy life with, but you got to do the work to get there. You can't say, oh, I want Prince Charming, but I don't know A+3 or anything like that. You got to work on it.
Yeah.
And until you do, you're gonna find yourself in the same motion of dating the same type of person, and putting yourself out, being desperate, because it's easy and it's okay. Women and men get desperate, and we find ourselves in situations that's not becoming of us, and not are that are not in that are not aligned with us. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And you can when I like what you express when you say, for me,
Mm-hmm.
this is the type of person who I like, and we know, or who I would like to be in relationship with. And we
Mm-hmm.
know that there are always best practices that show us the best types of
Right.
relationships for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a great idea to seek help in any way that we can, if we have to make those changes, whether it be
Mm-hmm.
books like ours, whether it be podcasts as you spoke about, whether it
Mm-hmm.
be joining joining circles of women who get together to discuss those kinds of
Kind
things.
of things. I love it.
Finding whatever it is that you need to help make those changes. But I still want to go back. Because I want to see if there are some feelings that go along with making
Yes.
those changes, or
Embar-
emotions that you experienced going along with
embarrassment,
those changes. Okay.
embarrassment,
Okay.
anger,
Okay.
um, feeling like I just waste my time. Like, where am I? Why isn't this
Okay.
happening?
Yes.
Um, just that self-sabotaging, and to be
Yes.
careful with that too, to learn how to stop, because you don't want to put yourself so low. Because I believe in like manifestation, speaking speaking life into stuff. And if we keep saying stuff like I'm known for saying, oh, I'm so tired, then I would get so tired, I'm burnt out, I can't do nothing. But it's being able to speak to ourselves in a way that's conducive, but being real with ourselves, but not breaking ourselves down. That's very much but to know that you can move on from there, and it's all in a choice. That's the whole difference. The difference between everything is really a choice. We got to make the choice. We might start at the bottom or below the bottom, but we are making the choice to be like, you know what, this is not working for me. What you got to offer, that's what I tell my friends that too. What you got to offer is not in line with what's for me, and being able to move around up out of that.
Yeah. I think a little bit more advice for people, some of the things that we talk about and some things that we do for ourselves is that sometimes you mentioned baby steps. Sometimes it's important just to put one thing out there. One thing. I'm going to exercise because I need my body to be healthy. I need my body to be healthy. I'm going to go take myself out.
Yeah.
You know, it's important because I need to know how, if it hasn't happened for you before, I need to know how I want to be treated. I need to know the things that I enjoy. I need to know the things that make me happy before somebody else can come along and add to my happiness. Not make me happy. Because only I can make me happy. My happiness is inside, but they can add to it and I can add to them. Right? So one thing at a time, sometimes we add to the things that we can do to make sure that we actually can move through that. Okay, wonderful. Oh, I love this. I love it. Let's see. What role does self-awareness play in choosing healthier partners?
It chooses, I would say, self-awareness and choosing other partners. Basically, loving yourself, being in tune with yourself, because I'm a wholehearted believer of, if you care more about yourself, the situations that you're involved in will show it. Because if you care about yourself, you're not going to date somebody that is manipulative of you. Or when you find out that they're manipulative, you're going to get up out of that. Not staying, it'll help you not be in a space forever that you just get stuck in. Because if somebody is not doing something right within 3 months, if you can't get right within 3 months, then it's time to move on. And you can, that for me, that's me, but you can even go 6 months, a year. If you're having the same issues, if we're having the same conversations and stuff like that, to me, that's an exit plan, because that means you're doing what you want to do, and you're not taking in me to be my consideration, and it's just not conducive. I think it's important to know that you're worth it, that you love, but you have to know you're worth it, but you have to love yourself. That's your job, to make sure that you good with you before you be good with anybody, so that you'll learn how to accept stuff. Because it's funny with relationships between men and women, women, men and men, whatever. It is so easy to accept and take stuff, from our partners, but not be able to take it from friendships that are not involved in that. So when we look at that type of stuff, to be able to be like, you know what, this is not going to be something that's going to work for me, and to be able to move along, and not have so many times over, because you give people times over and over, and it diminishes the way they respect you, because they know you're going to do this Okay, I know we're gonna get into it. He gonna be mad at me because I'm not doing this. I'm gonna be like, baby, baby, baby. He know I'm gonna cook for him. We gonna make it work, clink, clink, and then we back. We gonna be good for a week, and then it's gonna start all over again, and stuff like that is just not healthy. It's not healthy.
Patterns.
Patterns. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I say. You cannot. This why whenever I'm giving advice on my own or asking, I'm always like, look at the patterns. The pattern's gonna tell you all the time because you in the same stuff that is happening for continuously, and that's not okay. It's not respectful to you as their partner. It's not respect. It's just not okay.
Yeah, the patterns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Learning from that. So, how can someone tell if they're dating to be chosen versus dating with intention?
Because a person with intention is gonna move different about you. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
A person is gonna make sure that they're good. They're gonna respect you. They're gonna listen to what they're gonna take in what you say. They're gonna value you. They're not gonna put you in a place to feel like you don't need to be there or something like along those lines. They're gonna be a partner. They're not gonna sit and watch you either failing or not being able to progress in something because they're gonna help you. Um, do that. That's what people do. When you care about somebody, it shows. Versus, what can I get up out of you? What you doing for me? That could be financially, that could be professionally, and it happens to men and women, both ways around. It's that's it. So you have the situations everybody talk about, homosexuals with women and men that come and live off of people, and how that would be a lot of more of what you can get out of somebody, because if you're not adding to and helping, then you're taking advantage. You're not doing something right. So, and it's not fair to your partner, man or woman. It really, and it happens all the time. Because if somebody's intentional about you, we're gonna say, okay, we got a plan. We're gonna execute this, and that. I might not have this, but this is what I'm gonna do to help you in this. And it's about being intentional and not just going along for the ride. Because if ain't no change happening, ain't no change gonna happen.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I know that there's so much sometimes, so depending upon a person's background, culture, self-esteem, being chosen by somebody could lead to all kinds of other issues. You know, they can lead it can lead to a lot of issues. I don't want to just be chosen. I want to be, as you discussed, I want to have vision. I want to have purposeful relationship. I want to be able to move in the same direction with a partner. Right.
And it's hard. Go ahead.
My apologies.
This is good. It's hard because sometimes we've grown up um seeing stuff like, I always say, if you're married and you're unhappy and you got kids, leave, because us as children, we see that. We see the discussion. We hear it. We do this. And then it's like, well, daddy stayed, mama stayed. They did this. Mama took care of the house. Daddy, he was a rolling stone. He did this, and that. So we start internalizing that, and we meet people and they're like, oh well, he ain't doing this right now, but he gonna do better, she gonna do better, she gonna see that I actually care about her and go on. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And so then we choose these partners that complete the cycle. That go on. I remember when I was younger dating somebody and going to their house and seeing their family, and I was like, oh my God. It was just like, this is crazy. Now at me at 17, 18, 19 years old, saying like this is something ain't right, but that's how their dynamics were. So no wonder he thinks talking like that is funny or whatnot. That's because he grew up in that. So it's just and just because they do that don't mean that's okay. And people do change. People do change, but it's an effort and whatnot. There's so many people that grew up in traumatic situations that have that made the choice to do what they need to do and work on it. Because you can't take away, I can't say your trauma was worse than mine, but the difference is working through it to get to a better stage so you can live life, so you can be able to enjoy it and enjoy it. From alcoholism, growing up and seeing abuse, physical abuse, parents fighting, and then I meet a man and he gonna knock on me and he just mad. No. But that's how people get caught up in situations and don't know how to leave, because that's their experience. If that's all you've known, then that's what you grow into.
And that's what some people stay in because they don't know something different until they get out there and search, or understand or have some coaching or better, have some therapy to, help to correct some of those types of situations. Because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right. And as you've talked about plans, my mom always said, you make your plan and you work your plan. So if you're planning on having a great and wonderful life, then it behooves us to go out there and search and find what is a great and wonderful life.
Wonderful life.
Right? Yeah. I want to, let's see, I want to ask you this last question. How does dating feel different when you know what you want and you know what you don't want? How does it feel?
It feels I would think it would feel good to meet and have somebody that you like, because I'm a talker. I love talking, I love learning, I love stuff like that. And conversation. So I'm gonna need you to be emotionally mature to be able to even go in and out, have life, talking, dealing with stuff, politics stuff. I need you to know a little something more than who dating who and celebrity stuff. So if I'm in a situation where I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm in dating and it just being okay, this is it. I'm not genuinely happy because I can't flourish in something. Versus you get a Mr. Make It Happen, Mrs. Wonderful. They're gonna see and be able, they're more on your level. You can learn from them. You can have conversations. You can it's an adult relationship. It's something that you're doing actively and enjoying each other, and it's not something that's a burden. Anything that feels like a burden or you falling out and just burnt out about is something that you just should not be in. That's the whole red flag. And circus on fire, because it's not fair for you to be a mother, father to your partner. It's not okay for you to be the therapist to your partner, because it takes away the balance for the balance and whatnot for you all. So having something healthy where I can be like, oh, okay, we got more good times than terrible, then I'm good. I'm good with it.
Yeah, but you have to have those conversations. You have to
Patience.
have those, yeah, you have to have the difficult
Yes.
conversations. If I can discuss with my partner what's going on and what our vision is, or how am I doing, are there things that I could do better, or even if I can read it and I can add
Mhm.
to your life a little bit better, then
Mhm.
that's wonderful. Sometimes couples
Yeah.
don't talk
Talk
enough.
like
Now, when there are issues, big issues that you need help on, as I've said before, you need a coach, you need a therapist.
hmm
You just do, either individually and together. And a great therapist, one of the guests that we had on before, uh, Gail Turner Day, she said that, in order to support, in order to support our person, we might even have to go to therapy with them.
Therapy.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole,
And that is okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
I love that. I
yeah,
love that because sometimes stuff won't be able to be worked out between y'all. But if you cannot invest your time to go to therapy, then to me that shows me I'm not worth fixing this, and that you're gonna just make the choice to stay in doing what you're doing because it's not working between us to get on a level. But if we could get somebody to help and step in and say, hey, well, Jazz, you're not seeing it the way that he sees it, and vice versa, then it's just so hard. It's hard, and it's a time of maybe I need to take a step back. Maybe I need to take a step back. And it's hard. We got to be vulnerable in relationships, especially, nobody's perfect, but we got to be vulnerable to understand that you can, on some days, my partner might not be at 80%. He might be at 20. What can I do to help you? But it has to be active helping. It can't be shutting down and we just gonna ignore this and sweep it on the rug because it
right,
gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
yeah,
And then it's just not healthy. It's not healthy.
yes. Well, I don't have. Let's see if I have anything else. I don't have another question for you. I want to thank you for being on and being
Yeah.
vulnerable enough to share your experiences of
Yeah.
dating in your 40s and looking at boundaries and looking at culture and looking at all of the different types of changes that have occurred with the world.
We're
So,
like that.
huh,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I remember a meme that said dating after 40 is like mix match toys at the Goodwill. And it's the truth because that's what that's how it is because the older we get, the more experiences that we've
Yeah,
had that have shaped us
yes,
with family, our personal trauma, dealing
yeah.
with other people. So we get to the point where we like, okay, you can read, I can't read, but I can walk, I can run, just making it be
Oh
able
my
to work
God.
that stuff together. But that's what I thought was funny because it's just a stance of that's where you are. So it is what it is.
So, Jasmine, what would you like to tell women? Is there something that's just on your heart that you'd like to tell women about dating?
I think to know what it is that you want
Okay.
and stick to the plan. Make a plan and stick to it. And if it's something that's not in alignment of you, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't. It's so easy to get into a situationship. It's so easy to get yourself back in a situation that you don't want to be in. But we just got to have the effort and the gumption to just be like, nope, I can't do this, and just keep pushing along. But you know, it's I mean, it's okay. Everybody wants to find love, and everybody won't find love. everybody won't find that. And I think that that's important to understand, that you won't find it the way that you want it in the time space maybe that you want it. But it's okay that if you're not partnered, that you're okay. You're not broken. You know, I ain't broken. You get yourself to where you're prepared to meet somebody. Because when the energy is right, you're gonna meet your person. So that stuff, just not to have to down yourself, and don't just put that, ingrain that in your head that you, like, it's over. But
I think
it
you
is.
just gave me a whole other podcast discussion right there. I think that's a whole other topic. I think I'll have to put something together around that.
That's fine.
So I want to thank you again, Jasmine. And I want to say to women out there, do not give up on yourself. As Jasmine said, take your time, know yourself, do some self-reflection, look at who you are, look at where you are, and look at where you come from, look at where you are now, and look at where it is that you want to go. And as my mom, her grandmother, said, make your plan, work your plan. Making sure that you are taking care of your health, making sure that you are taking care of your mind space, making sure that you are taking care of your heart. And so what I want to tell everybody is, here's the love that's healthy, deep, and lasting. And we will see you the next time. And look, if you are share this podcast with someone, right? Share it on your social media pages. Send it to someone that you know who needs the help, who needs the assistance. And follow us at Healthy Pathways to Love on Facebook, and Marcia and Ellis on Facebook, and
Jasmine Ellis on Facebook.
Jasmine Ellis on Facebook. And from our hearts to yours, have a wonderful rest of your day.